I think get numbers in the camp. Yeah. Yeah. Put the pitch first. We're quick. I'm honoured to be here. I'm happy to be here. I think December 19th is going to be crazy though. I think the centre's going to be like buzzing, just crazy energy in that room. I think it's going to be really good. So now, remember I took a year out of the game to refresh because I was just piling on more and more baggage. I just feel fresh, I feel rejuvenated. It wasn't like I took the year out in vain. I had a purpose and I'm just living. No, you look fresh. I feel good, man. I feel good. I've been training hard. I'm close to the weight that I need to be at for the fight. I feel good. He's done me a favor. Walking around bulky and heavy. I feel quick. I feel amazing. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. He's big. He's very big. I'm here to shock the world, inspire the next generation. We're in the Heat arena. I'm a big Heat fan. Miami's on fire. This is my first pro fight, was in Miami against Gibb. I'm bringing that same energy here. First round KO.
I mean, I admire your delusional optimism, your cojones. You are the golden cop. It's as simple as that. No, it's amazing.
This is a man who's coming in to win, not there to be a lame duck and get knocked out.
Paul hasn't made too many mistakes. He's been pretty damn smart. I'm not saying he's the fighter that Joshua is, but I don't know if Joshua's the fighter that Joshua was. I don't know if his mind is right. And how do we define winning? Does he have, it's only 8 rounds, by the way. How about if he runs around, does a track meet, bop, bop, boop, 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 you know? He's got a pretty good right hand. Sneaks in a right hand once in a while with Joshua standing there maybe, you know, for a minute, second. He moves around, keeps Joshua off balance. And what if he does that? It's not gonna be, you know, pretty, but it could get him to the finish line.
Big news also this past week, AJ versus Jake. I mean, everyone's been calling for Jake to fight a real fighter. What do you think?
And Jake gonna fight a real fighter, and if the real fighter fights like a real fighter, then Jake gonna take a real nap. AJ, he showed you in Ngannou. He ain't one of these guys that just can go pick out streets and say, oh, I'm gonna fight AJ. No. AJ is an Olympian. AJ is a former world champion. AJ is not a 2-time world champion. AJ is nothing to play with. So when you go in with AJ, have your mind right, cause if you can't take it, he gonna find out.
Were you surprised when you heard about that?
No, I was not.
So you think he's gonna knock him out though, AJ?
He's gonna definitely knock him out. Because, I mean, don't get it wrong, Jake's smart, and Jake does have the power if he can catch him first. He knows if he can catch AJ first, he can get AJ out. But he don't catch AJ first. Just like Ngannou couldn't catch him first. AJ been boxing a long time. AJ better than they give him credit for.
I mean, it's finally happening, but...
Finally happening, like...
Well, I said it was meant to happen, then it was a tank thing.
Like, come on, man, you don't...
Hit me with it.
I'm gonna hit you with it now, man. Look, first of all, I think Nakisa hates Jake Paul because he wants him dead, I think. That's what it comes down to. Me and JB had a meeting with Nakisa and he was giving big ones, which I did not understand. He's not really like, come on. But like, he really wants to see his own friend that he calls my childhood friend hurt. That is wrong, bro. Like, you know what I mean? He's chasing the money. So he's just gone straight to the money and put my man in the firing line against a heavyweight champion who can hurt him and literally cause him problems in the future as well. Don't you believe me? You believe that? I mean, AJ hitting him with that big right hand. Oof. Look, if AJ hits him with a shot like he hit Ngannou and knocked him clean out.
From size to power to experience, everyone has something to say about Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua. Some people think Jake's confidence and recent wins might surprise Joshua. Others believe AJ's strength, timing, and heavyweight experience will be too much. This matchup has created a mix of wild takes, bold predictions, and genuine curiosity about what could actually happen.
Man, I just have this weird intuition inside that I don't think the fight's gonna happen. I don't know. Maybe they're just selling it right now to the public, you know. But I just feel like it's wolf tickets. I don't know if it's really gonna happen. Is Jake really gonna step in there with a killer, a heavyweight, you know, icon of the sport of boxing, you know, a world champion, a guy that's, you know, look what he did in Ngannou. Ngannou would leave Jake Paul on a stretcher in a second. It wouldn't even be a competitive fight. And you saw what Joshua did to Ngannou. So I don't know. I just don't think the fight's going to happen. I have this weird, suspicion. How do you go from fighting a little guy that's 100 pounds lighter than you and Gervonta, and now you're going to fight a heavyweight that's 260 pounds of solid, steel that's been knocking dudes out senseless? So I don't know. My prediction is I don't think the fight's going to.
The Atlas pointed out that Jake is younger and moves faster on his feet. He said Joshua's footwork is slow and that even a better fighter still needs to close the distance to land shots. That could give Jake small openings to move, touch him from the outside, and avoid getting caught early. Teddy also talked about Joshua's mindset. He said Joshua has been inactive for over a year and looked like someone who was basically retired. He questioned where Joshua's confidence is and if he might be underestimating Jake the same way fans are.
While we look at all the advantages that Joshua has, let's look at how I look at where maybe Paul has some advantages. He's younger. His feet are a little faster. I know he's not at that level of a fighter, I get it, but his feet are faster. Joshua's feet are not that fast, closing gaps, getting to somebody. To hit him, even if you're better than him, you still got to get to him to hit him. Also, Joshua, last time he fought was over a year. He hasn't fought. He was basically retired. Where's his mind at? He got knocked out terribly by Dubois. Where's his confidence? Where's his mindset? Where is he? Is he taking this fight the way that fans are, overlooking Paul, taking him for granted? Yeah, it probably is. Might be.
He also broke down the weight clause. Teddy explained that Jake added a rule that Joshua cannot come in heavier than 245. Joshua has been off for a long time and could have been much heavier before camp. Losing all that weight fast might affect him on fight night. Teddy said this is another smart detail Jake added.
I know this is the first time he's fighting a guy who's bigger than him and all that stuff, but he put in a 245-pound weight clause where he can't come in over 245. What is Joshua weighing? He was off over a year. He was basically retired. Was he 280? Was he 290? Was he 275? Easily could be the case. He didn't have a lot of time now to get to 245. How does that affect him? Oh, we forgot about that. It's a little thing, but it's not that little. It's the thing that Paul put there for him.
Teddy then said people forget the fight is only 8 rounds. He said Jake could try to move around, stay away, throw his right hand when he sees a moment, and make Joshua miss. Even if it is not pretty, Teddy said Jake might try to last the full 8 rounds, and that surviving could be looked at as a type of win for him.
Again, Paul hasn't made too many mistakes. He's been pretty damn smart. I'm not saying he's the fighter that Joshua is, but I don't know if Joshua's the fighter that Joshua was. I don't know if his mind is right. And how do we define winning? Does he have, it's only 8 rounds, by the way. How about if he runs around, does a track meet, bop, bop, boop, 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 He's got a pretty good right hand. Sneaks in a right hand once in a while with Joshua standing there maybe, for a minute, second. He moves around, keeps Joshua off balance. And what if he does that? It's not going to be, pretty, but it could get.
Roy Jones Jr. kept it very simple. He said Jake is finally fighting a real boxer, but this is a completely different level. He explained that AJ is not someone Jake found on the street. He is an Olympian and a former world champion, and if Jake steps in there without being fully ready, AJ will make him feel that difference right away. Roy also said he was not shocked that the fight got made, but his prediction was clear. He believes AJ knocks Jake out. He did admit Jake is smart and has power, and yes, Jake could hurt AJ if he lands first, but he said landing first on someone like AJ is unlikely because AJ has boxed far longer and knows how to avoid that early danger.
Big news also this past week, AJ versus Jake. Everyone's been calling for Jake to fight a real fighter. What do you think?
And Jake gonna fight a real fighter, and if the real fighter fights like a real fighter, then Jake gonna take a real nap. AJ, he showed you with Ngannou. He ain't one of these guys that just can go pick off streets and say, oh, I'm gonna fight AJ. No. AJ is an Olympian. AJ is a former world champion. AJ is not a two-time world champion. AJ is nothing to play with. So when you go in with AJ, have your mind right, cause if you can't take it, he gonna find out.
Were you surprised when you heard about that?
No, I was not.
So you think he's gonna knock him out though, AJ?
He's gonna definitely knock him out. I mean, don't get it wrong. Jake's smart, and Jake does have the power. If he can catch him first, he knows if he can catch AJ first, he can get AJ out. But he don't catch AJ first. Like Ngannou couldn't catch him first. AJ been boxing a long time. AJ better than they give him credit for it.
David Adeli said Jake is a proper fighter now, not just a YouTuber. He mentioned Jake trains full-time and has put money into good coaches and staff. That means Jake can fight at a real boxing level, not just for show. Because Jake has built a real team around him, David sees him as a legit boxer who can do damage in the ring. He thinks Jake has the skill and the setup to give AJ a real test. David called the matchup interesting and said everyone will be watching. He thinks it is one of those fights that draws attention because of how both fighters are seen right now. On the chances, David kept it realistic. He said Jake is a fighter, and so anything can happen. He gave Jake a real shot and implied the result is open, meaning AJ cannot take it for granted.
At Jake's gym a couple of years back, how has he come on as a fighter since then, you think?
Jake's a good fighter. Everyone calls him a YouTuber, but he lives his life as a full-time athlete, and he's got the money around him to invest in the right people to teach him boxing at a high level. So Jake's a boxer, it's a good fight between him and AJ. Interesting fight, and everyone's going to be watching it, so it's good.
Would you maybe ever help him prepare for AJ if he could?
Who knows?
And if not, none at all, what chance do you give for him in that fight?
A puncher's chance. He's a fighter, right? So anything can happen in fighting, so.
Colby Covington said he has a strong feeling that this fight might not even happen. He thinks the whole thing looks like they are just trying to hype it up for the public. In his mind, it does not make sense for Jake to walk into a ring with someone as big and dangerous as AJ. He kept pointing out how heavyweights hit completely differently and how AJ is on another level. Colby feels the matchup looks too risky for Jake and that something about it just does not add up for him. He also compared Jake's past opponents to AJ and said the jump is way too big. Jake has fought much smaller fighters, and now suddenly he is supposed to face a huge heavyweight who has been knocking people out for years. Colby does not see Jake taking that kind of risk and believes the fight will fall apart before it happens. His overall prediction was simple. He thinks the fight gets canceled because the size and danger difference is just too much for Jake to go through with.
Man, I just have this weird intuition inside that I don't think the fight's gonna happen. I don't know. Maybe they're just selling it right now to the public, but I just feel like it's wolf tickets. I don't know if it's really gonna happen. Is Jake really gonna step in there with a killer, a heavyweight, icon of the sport of boxing, a world champion, a guy that's, look what he did to Ngannou. Ngannou would leave Jake Paul on a stretcher in a second. It wouldn't even be a competitive fight. And you saw what Joshua did to Ngannou. So, I don't know. I just don't think the fight's going to happen. I have this weird, suspicion. How do you go from fighting a little guy that's 100 pounds lighter than you and Gervonta, and now you're going to fight a heavyweight that's 260 pounds of solid, steel that's been knocking dudes out senseless? So, I don't know. My prediction is I don't think the fight's going to.
Joey Chestnut made it clear that if this is a real boxing match, he sees AJ winning. He joked around a bit, but his real point was that AJ should be the one who comes out on top. He said if AJ somehow loses, a lot of boxers will be upset because AJ is the proven heavyweight with real power. Even though Joey likes Jake and respects how hard he works, he still thinks the level between them is too far apart for Jake to win. He also said he wants the fight to be fully real with no weird moments or fake stuff. He talked about how Jake has been training hard for years and how people always complain about Jake not fighting real boxers. Joey thinks this is finally a chance for Jake to show everything for real. He wants both guys to go in there, box properly, and let the better man win. He believes Jake will try hard because Jake always takes his training seriously, but he still expects AJ to be the one who gets the job done.
Man, if this is real boxing, I'm going to go with Anthony Joshua. But I love Jake Paul and I love what he's doing. So I'm going to go with Jake Paul. Psych, I'm going to go with Anthony Joshua, man. Anthony Joshua better win. If he don't, a lot of boxers are going to be very, very upset.
Does he win via knockout or does it go to a decision?
What I think should happen is this. Anthony Joshua, with Jake Paul has been boxing for a long time. He's a pretty good boxer. He really trains hard, so I can't knock what he's doing. I can't knock his hustle. Everybody's been complaining about him not fighting a real fighter. He's been fighting the old people and all this stuff, but this is a real boxer. I think they should go in there and let it be for real. Let them really box and let the winner really win. No funny business, none of that stuff. Jake real, he'll do that, and I know he'll try because he's been doing it ever since, so I want to see a good fight. I don't want to see no play. I want to see a good fight.
Usyk said that if Joshua and Jake ever fought, he sees Joshua winning without any trouble. He talked about how Joshua has been boxing since he was young and reached the highest level in the sport. Jake came from YouTube and then switched into boxing, so the experience gap is huge. Usyk was not trying to put Jake down. He was just saying the levels are very different and that Joshua has been doing this at the top for many years. He also talked about how these kinds of matchups mostly happen because of money. Big names bring big numbers, so people push these fights because of business, not because the matchup makes sense in the ring. For Usyk, it is nothing personal. It is just how boxing works when a big payday is involved. He even said he wants Jake to keep growing because he wants a fight with Jake someday. He joked that he would pray for Jake, but in a friendly way, since he wants that chance in the future.
Yeah, you're correct. If Anthony Joshua won, Anthony killed this guy. Listen, a lot of questions, blah blah blah. Only one my answer. Anthony Joshua is Olympic champion. Yeah. First, Jake Paul is sportsman, YouTuber, showman. Rolls Royce, Fiat. Listen, it's true. I'm not.
Oh my god. I have nothing better in mind.
Yeah. It's just true. It's business, more money. Only this.
So we need to pray for Jake Paul.
Yes. I will pray Jake Paul because I want fight with Jake Paul in Octagon.
So now you've heard from everyone. All the experts have broken down just how dangerous this fight could be. Joshua is treating it like a real challenge because even if some people think it's crazy, he knows he can't underestimate anyone. And Jake, well, he's stepping into the biggest test of his career so far. Let me know in the comments what you think. Do you agree with the experts, or do you think Jake can pull off a surprise?